Welcome to Wanna Bet, the daily gambling game show that takes betting seriously, but not much else. Get our favorite plays on the totals, sides, props, exotics, and futures to jump on now.
So let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Så till kursen kere konsultata konsulterino. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben.
Yo, let's get it started indeed. I'm Jason. That's Ben. We switch back to StreamYard and it scrambles my brains, Ben, every time. It's like I don't know which way to go. This is der mighty Mannschaft, der Munich, who play today at 2:30. Just some of the early action we want to get you on today. It's a fun time in the sports calendar. It's kind of been tournament week, Beltway Ben, but it really has. I don't feel like it's tournament week until somebody's tipping off in a do or die game at noon.
Next
Do you agree
week.
with me? At noon. Today.
This is some small, yeah, today, but like next week we're filled. You know what I mean? Next week.
Way to poop on my open. Way to poop
Well,
on
next,
my open.
no, I'm agreeing. Like next week we got 6 noon games on some days, like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And I'm no mid-major hater. You know what I mean? We love the mid-majors, but like some of the mid-majors push to next week. Which makes no
Jameis
sense.
Winston. We eat them
Yeah.
dubs. We eat them dubs.
But some of them,
League, Horizon League, MIAC.
some of the mid-majors push to next week over the past few years, and it doesn't make much sense. But
Well, what I'm trying to say to get everybody fired up for a big weekend.
yes, get everybody fired up.
Plays that want to bet Beltway
Yes.
Ben. It's like yesterday, there was like one 5 p.m. tip-off, and then a bunch of 6 and 7. We got noon action.
Yes.
Do or die, season's on the line. And there's some stuff we like at noon. We got Die Bundesliga. You're at work. Maybe you can't even watch at work. You listen. You follow. You put $10 on it. Get you through your day. Get you to the weekend a little closer. We're thinking of our consumers here, our fellow bettors. And then we've obviously got NBA through the evening. College Lax has been very, very good to me. I've got a College Lax parlay, 1 game tonight, 1 tomorrow. A lot to get to. Beltway Ben, before we get to last night's bets, full disclosure, because we keep it real around here. I already know the answer to this because I couldn't resist. I had to text you. In excess, don't change. 1 to 10 lobsters. Mr. Wendell was what? 3.5 was Arrested Development. I think 3.5 lobsters.
No, it was 5, and the other one was 2. The other one was
Tennessee
2.
got 2. Mr. Wendell got 5. How many lobsters for the?
And that's probably nice.
Like
Probably should have been 4. 1 or 2. This was not. I don't know what made you think that this was going to be the one for me. I really don't. I genuinely was shocked when I was listening. I was like, he can't be serious. He can't be serious.
First of all, don't change for you. Don't change.
I know
that.
Listen,
tell me that's not the Beltway Ben ethos. Just tell me I'm not.
Absolutely, I'm not changing for
right?
anybody.
There you go. Right.
Listen,
So that was the first reason.
No, I get that. Because I knew that was going to be the argument. And I already had my response ready. I'm not listening or enjoying a song straight up based off of what they're saying. I like the message.
The name of the song,
the
and it's "Don't Change." You had to type the words "Don't Change" to find the song on YouTube.
Though. I listen to music because I want to hear it. Now the meaning of it means something a little bit. I still, if it's hardcore rock telling me
I'm standing here on the ground,
not for me. You know what I do like, and I was going to bring this up because this is
Yes.
a little bit of I don't know. You probably Everybody Wants to Rule the World. I like that song.
That's a perfect pop song.
Everybody. Love that song. They put it in the World Cup last time, right?
Probably.
I think it was in the last World Cup.
So many World Cup songs.
Yeah.
Tears for Fears are amazing. Songs from the Big Chair. Huge, huge album.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm doing a lot, but I do like Everybody Wants to Rule the World.
Mad World. I'd like to go back an album before songs to the Big Chair. From the Big Chair. That's great. Okay, well we found some common ground there.
I like that song a lot.
I just thought, this is just ear candy. It's the synthesizers. It's 80-ish. But don't you kids like the 80s because of Stranger Things and all that? I don't know if that song was in Stranger Things. It feels like a song that could have very easily been in Stranger Things. I don't know if it was. I'm guessing maybe it was. I don't know.
Do you think I watched Stranger Things?
I think it's on your radar. I think it probably comes across your TikToks and stuff.
And guess what I do? No cares.
Yeah.
Get out of my.
You're not changing. You're
No,
not changing for
exactly.
anybody.
Like what XNX, whatever the name is. X. What's the song?
DMX?
No. What's the band you just sent me?
In excess.
Yeah, that. XS.
All right. I'm gonna throw 2 at you here.
Yeah, Rafa knows. Look at this. Rhythm more than the lyrics. That is.
I mean, but come on, you can sit there and do the Alfonso Riviera dance to "Don't Change" all day long. What is it? What the hell was the character he played in? Well, I've heard Drake. I'm unfortunately I'm very familiar with Drake. You give me your favorite Drake song, and I'll listen to it, and I'll give you a lobster rating on it.
Okay. Yeah, we should do that because we switch it up.
Alfonso Rivera's character on freaking Fresh Prince. They got the dance they named.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I can't think. You could do that dance that don't change. Okay. Public Enemy, Black Steel in the Hour of Chaos, and Night of the Living Bassheads.
Carlton. Yeah, Trez.
Carlton. Yes. I was picturing you and Maddie's dogs doing the Carlton, listening to In Excess, saying, "Wow, this is actually like
I don't think the dogs really
this.
feeling
This
it
is
either.
pure ear candy."
I don't think the dogs were a fan.
And it's my freaking motto.
It is a good motto, but that song.
All right. I guess we should put up last night.
Yes.
Another great night in college hoops for me. We lost Navy. Navy almost lost the Bucknell. That was that first half right by Navy was a lot of turnovers and getting killed on the boards, which is unlike them. Howard is a machine, little sweaty, but man, they made like 7 threes in the second half. I'm shocked they didn't win by more than 8, but we'll take the 8. We hit another parlay. That's been a thing this week. We went 3-1 in our college hoops plays. The Islanders got down 3-0. I'll be honest, I fell asleep. They made a game of it in the third period. The keeper allowed 2 in the second period. He would have went back. The Islanders dominated the second period, couldn't score. That was that. And Şengün didn't really want a whole lot to do with rebounds last night, Ben. The Joker triple-double was no problem. Şengün was just letting everybody, he was literally leaning away from rebound attempts and just saying, who wants this ball? Because I'm not going to take it, even if it comes right to me. So we were up a little bit. But again, the motif of the week for me, and especially in the Discord, where I'm getting people a lot more value because we're playing this stuff early, we're killing college hoops. Oh, yeah. And I told guys on the Discord, hey, look, I haven't been great in the Prem lately picking sides. I've been real good on anytime goal scores. I think this is a shot where Crystal Palace beats the snot out of Tottenham, and you can get it plus 200. And then we're getting comments at halftime. They're up 3-1, and people are already cashing their bet on Bet 365. That's what we do on the Discord.
Yes, absolutely. It was I was down, a quarter of it wasn't anything bad. 2-2. Nothing special, nothing bad. As you said, Şengün with a pure hack performance. That was really, really frustrating, to be quite honest
with overtime. He just did not want to move his feet to get a rebound.
I meant to text Jason, but I forgot to. You could have given him 4 more overtimes. Genuinely, I don't know that
wasn't going to happen.
I don't think I don't think so. It was going to have to fall right in his hands for him to want to grab the basketball.
He wanted 7 rebounds, Ben, and no more.
Nothing.
No more, no less.
And then he builds us up a little bit before halftime, getting to 5 and thinking, all right, we got a shot. And you still always had a shot with the assist, but that tailed off too. So just a hack performance from him.
Nate in the Discord was saying apparently he might have had the flu or something. I don't know.
He should have sat out.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever. Frustrating from him. James Madison, they were down 2 the entire game. Could not really get there. It was a crazy game. So they lost for me. But we did cash Iguodaro's rebounds, and we also cashed in that same game Yabusele, who we got out ahead of it early. We got 17.5. He was still able to clear the 19.5 or 20.5 a tip. But because Buzelis and Giddey were rolled out, it was a good number for Yabusele. And I've been in a little bit of a rut, so I'm more of the plays in the Discord. I've been trying to send more half unit plays. I'm not trying to I want to be red hot. Like the World Baseball Classic, I'm also trying to play kind of slow. You guys know how excited I am for it. But sometimes when you get too excited for these events and these things, you start just betting everything and you start looking stupid. So I want to play it slow. But we do have a few World Baseball Classic things that we'll be on. And yeah, like I said, a little bit of a rut. So a lot of half unit plays in the Discord. We're still having a lot of success in there. By the way, Derek Queen, real quick, sorry. I gave him out for a triple-double. Played it on my own live because he had 6 or 7 rebounds in the first 8 minutes he played. They did everything they could to get Queen a double-double. And usually you know where you're at. Queen refused. It was I mean, it was crazy.
There was a
board.
player.
He is a team player, but there was a board, and it was him and Zion. He could have grabbed it. He doesn't grab it, and the whole bench jumps up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, they're talking about it. I felt good. He plays another 3 minutes. Then they pull him out for 1:30, put him back in to get it, and he still didn't get it. Oh, that was brutal. Brutal. He had 9 heading into the fourth and couldn't get there.
But wait, Ben, you mind putting up the Discord real quick? We're not going to belabor the point. I do want to say, though, shout out to Baltimore's own Juju Reese. I was like, damn, I wish I could play a spicy 5-piece on him tonight, right? What could we have gotten for 5 points and 5 rebounds if he was on a true, NBA contract and not a two-way? All he did is have 17 and 20, Beltway Ben. All he did is have 10 offensive rebounds in his third NBA game. How about that? Were we on to that or were we on to that? Would have loved to gotten in on some Juju last night.
100%.
Represent. He had turned.
Even the first game we were talking about, him playing with the size they don't have, I'd be interested to play his rebounds. So yeah, it's unfortunate, and that I understand the thought because you have idiots like Jonte Porter in that, but I can't bet certain players in the team's rebounds because Juju's going to be taking some, so it impacts how I'm viewing other things. It's unfortunate, but that's just where we are.
All right, let's get her going. We got a tip off at noon. Gardner-Webb, a team we faded quite a bit this year at High Point. This is a massive number, and it's a massive number for a tournament game. But let's be real. This is the first noon college basketball tip in a while. I'm on it. Like, I thought about not giving it out because, it's a little risky. 26 to cover in the first round for a team High Point that needs to win every game here, obviously, to turn their great regular season into an actual field of 68 appearance. But I just think it's the men versus the boys. And this Gardner-Webb, to me, they've got a lot of ruse in them, Beltway Ben. They're a lot like UMKC. When they fall down, they don't get up, man. They are totally comfortable losing by 35. Like, how did the first 2 minutes between these teams go? 112 to 87 and Beltway Ben. 104 to 49. That happened. That happened, Holmes. Look. 3 of High Point's last 5 wins are by 25 points or more. Their backups can continue to shoot the ball around and have some fun here. Gardner-Webb is Ken Palm's 361st team in the country, Beltway Ben. That's out of 365. They don't do anything well. And I think High Point at some point will build up a 35-point lead here. And could it get a little sweaty late trying to keep it over 26? It might. But I also think Gardner-Webb is so ready for this season to be over that they're going to check out like the Roos. It's a big number. I get it. It's not my favorite play in the world, but I wanted to have more than one college play for you tonight. I don't like tonight's plays as much as a lot of the other ones. I'm destroying it this week, but I don't want to push too much and force things. But I do think this one could get way out of hand. I mean, could they beat this team by 40 again? I mean, they could. Oh, sorry. And we're going over with the Denver Pioneers. This is conference play. This is, neutral site, but it's in South Dakota. So it's not an advantage for Denver or North Dakota. We're going over the 160.5. The 2 games between these teams this season, Beltway Ben, 98-79 and 93-86. That's a lot of points. The Pioneers are 8-3 to the over as a favorite. They are 12-4-1 to the over in road and neutral settings. This is the number 3 and number 4 most efficient offenses in the conference versus the 7th and 8th least efficient defenses in the conference. Denver finished their regular season over the weekend, Beltway Ben, by allowing 102 points to Oral Roberts. North Dakota is 11-4-1 to the over in conference play. When the total this season has been between 158.5 and 162.5, our Pioneers are 5-1 to the over.
First down for me, we're going to the WBC, and we're going to go to it again here shortly, but I like Venezuela on the money line and Gleyber Torres for a base hit at -145. I'll be fully transparent. I think I've been higher on Gleyber Torres, the hitter, more than most. Like, I just like what he does at the plate, his approach. He's hitting the leadoff spot. He understands things like that. I know today he's not going to be, but I don't see them losing here. Netherlands and Venezuela's in a weird spot, just with kind of roster construction and how they're trying to build things. I don't know. I like it as long as he's in the lineup. Again, I get to see their lineup. I do want to check because he could be out of it. And if he's out of it, we'd only have Venezuela on the money line. There'd be some juice. But I did take this earlier before the lineup was out, so I'll have to double check. But we will see. I like him at the plate, and again, if he pinch hits, that would be unfortunate. But I like it a lot. And we also have Chorio out of the lineup. Chorio took a pitch off his hand. They said he's day-to-day, so he's probably not going to be in the lineup. It will be interesting to see how this goes for this. So Trez said Glaber isn't available. Maybe he is rolled out of the lineup then.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll have to check. He probably's out of the lineup.
Okay.
Well, that was scary for me. But no, I like Venezuela on the money line. So don't play it now.
Would you lay anything on with Venezuela?
It scares me just a little bit. I was talking about Netherlands, like ambush Trevor Rogers. And it's a different type of start. Netherlands ambush Trevor Rogers. They have a few guys up high in the lineup that get hit. But then you have like guys like Didi Gregorius, Jonathan Scope's brother. I do lean him. Profar, we know that situation. He rolled out of camp. It's a 2.5 or 3.5 run spread, I believe. And I think they'll cover it. I think they'll win. But I wanted to play them on the money line with Glaber because I thought Glaber would be in the lineup. But as I said, it looks like they're not in the lineup. So first down, I mean, if you want to say one unit would win 0.3. And I do have that in, so it's gonna be in a play for me. It's not gonna win you much. Don't bet just Venezuela on the money line, but because I put it out. And thank you for letting us know. It happens.
Respect. Let's go to Die Bundesliga. A little bit of a tricky spot for the mighty men from Munich here. They've got midweek Champions League coming up. Big tie against Atalanta going to Italy. I'm glad this is on a Friday, though, and not a Saturday or Sunday like it could be in Die Bundesliga schedule. Primetime game at home, the Alliance Arena against your favorite team, Beltway Ben. Borussia Mönchengladbach. Two Americans. Well, I don't know if Gio Reyna's going to play in this game or not. I imagine Joe Scally will. A couple of Americans employed by Mönchengladbach. This is going to be a tough spot for them. Look, Bayern, no Harry Kane. Company will probably play a B- C+ lineup. I still think that's enough to at least push here, laying the one with Bayern. I think it still is probably 3-0. I don't know about Gladbach getting enough possession to score. I think Bayern with no Kane. We'll see what they do with Elise and Diaz. I guess it'll be Nicholas Jackson up top. I wish we could bet my guy Leonard Cole, who is now 18. I can't find him in any market, so I don't know why. I'm going to email Bet365 again because they told me last time I'd be able to bet him when he's 18. He's been 18 for like 10 days now. We can't bet him, but I suspect he's cut some wide swath as a false 9 to run around in the midfield and create. And he likes shooting from distance. Anywho, look, Bayern at home, they're pretty much as dominant as you could hope for. 10-1-1 at home in the Alliance Arena, 48 goals scored, just 12 conceded. Gladbach have scored just 12 times in 11 road games all season. Once I see the lineup, there's going to be some action on the Discord here, but we're comfortable laying one with Bayern. We'll have more soccer tonight. We're going to do our Saturday show tonight. So the Hoff, Bortman, will be playing some of the hits in our Saturday show. What are we thinking? Like whatever time you want to do it.
I'm going out to eat, and then
where are you going? What do you have?
We're going to Texas Roadhouse.
He is. That must have been pretty recently because I checked on that probably within the hour. Okay. Look, I'm not going to put it out there as an official play because, again, I want to see this lineup and how they're aligned. But if it's Nicholas Jackson up top, he.
Check. We lose you.
He ain't afraid to shoot. He ain't afraid to shoot. You know what Leonard Carl is? He's a chucker. He's a chucker. He's an 18-year-old chucker, and we like that at Warner.
We lost you for a minute, but you're back.
Texas Roadhouse. What's your go-to at Texas Roadhouse? You gotta
the
there at Beltway Ben?
Yeah, the country fried chicken. Shout out to Kenneth. Country fried chicken, yeah, with the gravy. Shout out to Kenneth. I'm very excited. I love Texas Roadhouse. I love Texas Roadhouse. Big fan.
I'm more intrigued now that because I'm off the red meat. Now that you're telling me about and I'm trying to be off the fried foods, but I'll slip a chicken fried steak in there.
No, I don't eat much fried food anymore. I don't eat much fried food anymore, but I will.
I know you don't, but you make an exception for a chicken fried steak with some mashed potatoes, right?
Yeah, mashed potatoes. Yeah, always. By the way, I gave out Venezuela. I could just count this as a play because you guys probably
Do whatever you want.
You weren't able to put it in. Venezuela on the money line, and I was looking at this last night because I was trying to I wanted to get fine juice. I wanted to play it fair enough. Venezuela on the money line. By the way, Glaber is not in the lineup. Sonoja is though. I'm lost. And it's not an injury that we know of, but they'll talk. Venezuela on the money line. Ranger Suarez 3+ strikeouts and Ronald Acuna for a base hit -150. 5 more cents than the other play.
Yeah.
I'll count that as my play. Again, you guys weren't playing Venezuela by themselves on the money line. Glaber wasn't available when you took it, which is crazy because he was available. The lineup had to have just come out.
Yeah.
And I'm usually checking, but WBC is hard. Very, very hard. But here.
Do you trust Underdog? Is Underdog your go-to for WBC?
Underdog
lineup?
is go-to.
I know Underdog is the official information source of Beltway Bend Industries.
Yeah, Underdog has told me things before anybody. Underdog gets a good shout out. Maybe they could, sponsor.
I'll get Adam Heller. I'll get our guy Adam Heller on that. Reach out to Underdog.
Underdog is legit. I will.
Adam Heller's legit. Adam, if you
shout out to him. But no, sorry, it's very rare that I have one of these errors, but the guy was.
I wouldn't say it's an
error.
error.
What are we doing?
I wouldn't call it an error.
Why is he not in the lineup? It's frustrating.
You were able to make the bet. You make the bet early. Yeah. You know that there's risk, especially in a weird tournament like this, and especially at the beginning of a weird tournament like this.
Yeah, true. It's frustrating. But again, listen, Venezuela on the money line, I like them still. Ranger Suarez for 3 strikeouts. I know he's not a big strikeout guy, but he should be able to shut the Netherlands lineup down a little bit, especially with their good left-handed pop. Like, they're more lefties than righties in that lineup. I think he'll get some swing and miss. And Ronald Acuna base hit. He's leading off. He'll get the at-bats. But for second down, we are going to the NBA. I said we'll be back to the WBC for third down. For second down, though, Luka Doncic over 52.5 points, rebounds, and assists at -110. Way too big of a number. I thought I was going to get something like 47.5 before I opened up the apps late last night, early this morning. LeBron has not been ruled out.
Spicy meatball.
It is. It is a spicy meatball. I thought LeBron was going to be ruled out. He's not. He's out. I can tell you now he's out. He got pulled late last night in that game with an elbow injury. It's a back-to-back. We know how old he is. We know where he is at this point in his career. He will not be playing tonight. So that means it's going to be the Luka and AR show. I think Luka's going to be able to finally get it going. The scoring hasn't been there. The attitude has. And again, as a Luka fan and a guy that roots for him, he's
a
in a
chucker
bad spot right now.
Except when the game's on the line. Then he's not. Then he don't want to chuck.
Look until JJ Redick draws one up for him. I just think this is a really good spot for him against a Pacers team that allows tons of rebounds, tons of assists, and tons of points. Luka has not got to that 30-point mark in a while. He's due for it in this spot. It wouldn't surprise me to see him get 35 to 40. But with that, he is touching the ball every single possession. And in those times, he's going to have the lobs to Jackson Hayes and those guys. I know Ayton might be out, but with Ayton out, like as lazy as Ayton is, and you guys know how I feel about Jackson Hayes. Hayes will go. Luka will throw the lob to him a little bit more than he does to Ayton, just because Ayton's a little bit slower, probably less athletic in that spot. But also, you have AR, you have Luka, ability to knock down the threes. I think there's going to be a lot of opportunities for him to grab boards, pick up assists, and the scoring. We know where it is with him. This is a Pacers team that's told you straight up they're tanking, and I think that
believe them.
I think Luka's going to
believe them.
Yeah, I think Luka's going to kill it. Over 52.5 points, rebounds, and assists at -110.
Hop Zeit, you mentioned old. But wait, Ben, how old were you in 98, 99? I got this jersey in the summer of 98. How old were you in the summer of 98 when I was visiting my buddy Steve Ketman in Berlin? For
-3, -2. -3 in 98, but -2 in 99.
-3. -3. 98, 99, Bayern Munich. Giovanni Albert, probably my favorite player from that iteration of Bayern Munich. We got late stage Lothar Matthäus. We had Lothar Matthäus at the end before he went to MLS. You can't pull the pictures up. I would ask you to pull up a picture of Oliver Kahn and put it next to a picture of Frankenstein. Oliver Kahn was Frankenstein with long hair. My cousin Todd used to call him Mary Shelley's Oliver Kahn. Oli Kahn was the goalkeeper for Bayern and for the German Diamantnschaft for years. On your own, you'll get a kick out of it. Oliver Kahn. And I bet it's got to be memes now. I mean, this is like before there was, before people had cell phones. But there's got to be some killer Oli Kahn memes out there. Hopzite, third down. Let's go to the association. Let's stay in the association. Let's play in the association, Beltway Ben. We got to ride the Charlotte Hornets, don't we? Now, look, we jumped this at 5.5 in the Discord when it opened. It's now at 7. It's going to go up. They're hosting the Hornets. If you haven't been scoring at home, let me inform you about our Hornets. They've covered 8 straight. They've covered 14 of 17. They are 13-7 against the spread this season as a favorite. They are 21-14 against the spread this season with 1 day off. Of those 8 straight they've covered, Beltway Ben, they've covered 6 of those 8 by 6.5 points or more. They are 7-2 against the spread, their last 9 at home. You can go to NBA Advanced Stats and spend as much time as you want digging into the Hornets. No matter how you go about it, they're going to come up as a top 5 NBA team over the last 6 weeks. Miami smashed them the last time they played, Beltway Ben. Miami smashed them back in October and November. Miami's won like 9 of the last 10 in this series. I know it, Beltway Ben, and now you know it. Who else knows it?
Charlotte?
Yes. Correct. Yeah, Miami's been covering lately, but this is their 3rd game in 4 nights, and the Hornets are a machine. So we're laying the 7 minus 110 at the bet 365.
For me, I told you guys we were going back to the World Baseball Classic here. It usually would be 4th down, but I have another 4th down play, so I decided to put this in here.
You got something weirder than this, is what you're saying.
Not weird, just longer. Oh. Just longer. No. Great Britain.
It's a Freaky Deaky Friday, Beltway Ben. It's Freaky Deaky Friday on Wanna Bet. I got something weird enough for both of us.
Yes, you do actually do. I would not be. I wasn't, quite honestly, Utah. I didn't know much about that program.
We've been on Utah lacrosse already.
I know.
We had Denver beating them on the money line, and it was sweaty. But we've been impressed by Utah. We've watched Utah twice this year.
Yeah.
We'll get to that, though. It's a tease. That's a tease for all you running Utes. For all you running Utes lacrosse fans out there.
Yeah. Great Britain over a half a run, first 5. We need them to score 1 run. We're going to get 2 at-bats from Jazz Chisholm. We know he's going to be swinging out of his shoes. Can he drive one of them in the gap? Like, we've seen Czech score runs in the first few innings against solid pitching. And Javier Assad, I'm not really buying it. They're going to give him, 3 to 5 innings. I don't think he's going to shut them down. He's given up runs in the MLB when he's pitched. I don't know. And the Great Britain has a few other guys who have played. I know their lineup's not very good, and I know they're probably going to get ran off the field against Mexico, but they can't score 1 run in the first 5 innings with a few MLB bats. I don't know. I find that kind of hard to believe. I think there's value here. I like this play here. So we're going to play Great Britain again. Jazz Chisholm puts one out. It would not surprise me. By the way, you got to look at some of these odds. Home runs? We're talking about plus 140 for home runs in the World Baseball Classic. What are we doing? I was close, very close.
Well, I mean, are some of these ballparks janky or no? Like, what they're playing in Houston.
Lincoln Park, yeah. I mean, right field's short, but it's MLB field.
It's not like we're playing at an AAU diamond or something.
I do like Schwarber. I think he hits one. To be quite honest with you, I was considering giving it out, but the value is just crazy. I do like Great Britain, though, to score 1 run through the first 5 innings. Hopefully it comes in the first or second, but we've seen some of these lesser teams be able to score so far in the games in Japan. Hopefully that carries over in this one.
Let's get weird, Beltway Ben. Let's get freaky deaky. Oh, let's get to the freaky deaky first. All right, we got Army Lax at Lafayette tonight under the lights, 7:30. They're laying 6.5. Look, we've been on Army a lot this year. The defense is as good as last year. They've got one of the best goalies in the country. They're going to dominate ground balls. Did we lose one of these by a hook? We did. But Army's rested. Army's a top 10 team in the country. And I just think they're going to overwhelm Lafayette. And then Utah's hosting Dartmouth. It's kind of a pick 'em. We like Utah at home. We've got elevation. Utah's looked good. Utah, I like the way they attack. They move the ball well. And I just think they're more than a goal better than Dartmouth at home. That's that. Plus 225.
Uh-oh.
Man, I don't understand. It's an Ethernet. I don't understand why it cuts out.
It's bad.
Yeah. You got me? I'm here.
I got you.
You want to go to the Bundesliga? All right. So the mighty Mannschaft of Munich to score twice at Allianz Arena. We need Stuttgart, who've been lighting it up, to score twice. And we need Borussia Dortmund, a.k.a. Bortman, to score twice. Plus 247 at the 365. I've played various iterations of this. But we'll go with this one. Look, Bayern have scored at least twice in 9 of their 12 matches at home. Even without Harry Kane, frankly, I think they're scoring 3 times or more in this match against a Gladbach team that's going to be overwhelmed. Mainz have been pretty good. Stuttgart at Mainz, like Mainz have been better lately, but Stuttgart's in great form. They just scored 4 over the weekend. Even when they're off, they're good for 2. They've scored 2 or more in 3 straight. They've scored 2 or more, have Stuttgart, in 6 of their 9 matches since returning from the winter break. Our guy Dennis Undav continues to crush it. They're going to dominate possession. Would not surprise me if they draw a penalty here. They're great off of set pieces. They also can score from distance from the run of play. And then Borussia Dortmund, second best team in Die Bundesliga. We think they score at least twice against Cologne. Cologne have allowed 2 or more in 4 of their last 6. Bortman have scored 2 or more in 10 straight matches. We think our guy Gyasi is good for 1 here. Dortmund, I mean, look, my only concern, maybe they don't have a ton to play for, right? They choked against Atalanta. They're out of Champions League. They're out of DFK Porcal, whatever the hell they call it, the German Cup, and they're kind of locked into a Champions League spot. But it's one of their final, coming down the home stretch. They're at home. They've been scoring. They've been playing great, attractive football. They're going to see a lot of the ball. So we think all those teams are good for at least 2 goals.
I've got 2 plays. 4th and long, a Luka Doncic triple-double, plus 290. He's been close his last few games. 27, 11, and 7, 27, 10, and 7. And again, I talked about, earlier with PRAs. It's been since, February that he last had one. Sorry, not February, January. When was the last time he had one? And like when LeBron plays, it's a little bit more difficult for Luka to grab those. We know LeBron's going to grab his boards. We know he's going to handle the rock a little bit. And I get it with Austin Reeves. I know that he's a guard. He's going to handle the rock. He's going to get his. He's going to get his assists. But Luka can give us 10 assists in the first half. And at that point, we're going to need him to grab the boards. I'm not worried about the assist. I know he'll get there or at least get close against a Pacers team who doesn't defend much. We need the boards. And Luka tonight in the spot without LeBron James, that opens up, 6 to 10 rebounds as it is. And DeAndre Ayton's questionable. Like Jackson Hayes is going to steal some. He loves adding stats for himself. But I think Luka has a very good opportunity to get one tonight. It's been a while. He's due for one of these. We know in recent years how much regularity he had getting triple doubles. Hasn't been as much consistency this season. But now with LeBron out, I do like him at plus 290. The other play, 4th and somewhat long. These are 2 different games. Dominican Republic minus 4.5. Vladdy Jr. for a base hit, and then Alex Bregman for the U.S. for a base hit, plus 145. So we took the DR game against Nicaragua. Dominican minus 4.5, Vladdy base hit, and then Bregman base hit, plus 145. Listen, Nicaragua's like, I just can't.
They don't have Dennis Martinez anymore. That's for damn sure.
They have Vientos. I'm like, that's their prize possession. Mark Vientos, and how that'll go. I can't buy anything. I think the DR showed how excited they are for this tournament. And I'll be honest with you, Japan is tough. They're dogs, scary. I get it. The DR scares me the most for the U.S. because they're probably going to have to play them in the semis. The good thing is we get Skeens on the bump there. By the way, wearing my Alonzo shirt. You can
Represent.
see my Alonzo USA shirt, which I bought after he signed with the Orioles because I couldn't buy Mets stuff. So found the USA shirt. But it should be an exciting game tonight. Breggy seems up for it. And I know they're exhibitions, but he's driving the ball. I'm interested to see how they go about it. I thought it would make the most sense. Breggy at second. Witt is short. I love Gunnar. Witt is the shortstop. And Gunnar at third. Yes. Gunnar was adamant that he was not playing on the right side of the infield, which I understand that's how it's going to be. It would make more sense for Breggy. And then second exhibition, again, some people I got an argument with. Second game of the exhibition, Breggy's playing second, Gunnar's playing third. That's how that makes the most sense. So I'd be interested to see if they go with that.
Somebody was arguing baseball with you?
People, I ended quick. I ended quick always.
They should know better.
They should. But I'm saying Breggy's a little bit smaller, probably a little quicker. Gunner's the third base model. What are we talking about?
Gunner's a better third baseman than shortstop.
He is 1,000%. And like you want Gunner's bat in the lineup compared to Terang. We'll see how they go here. They're going to mix it up. I know Terang started the first exhibition, and then they put Breggy. Whatever. Breggy is going to play tonight. I fully believe. I don't think that Gunner's going to be ahead of him at third. I think it would be more Bregman ahead of Terang at second. However, they want to play that. They want his bat in the lineup. He's been here. He's done this, and he's just a clutch hitter. I think the whole lineup has a chance to get a hit tonight. And it's crazy how juiced their base hit odds are. And I talked about the home runs earlier with Schwarber. It's not normal. I've never seen anything like it. But here we are. So I like the DR -4.5, Vladdy Jr. for a base hit, and Alex Bregman for a base hit at +145. Also, these books, I can't find it anywhere. If you can, it's probably offshore. Total bases. We can't do that, but we can do base hits and home runs. These books are scams. It's unbelievable.
They're not
frustrating. Unbelievable. You can't bet.
Corporations are not your friend. Corporations are the enemy. Beltway Ben, bring us home. Overtime. Is it the KC Royales with cheese today, correct?
It is. We're going to Kansas City, and I will let you give out your play after we break them down. Listen, this team is probably in for a bounce back year. I like some of the youth they have. I think we'll finally see again. We saw it just 2 years ago with Reagan's, but I think that Reagan's is going to be back and be good again. I trust their rotation enough. That division we talk about all the time. Like I don't really know what to make of that division. I think the Tigers are tough. I like what they did with Bramber, but outside of that, it's not much. And this lineup's mostly young. It's a lot of their own guys. They didn't bring a ton in. They're going to try to ride with Caglione, who I'll get to in my future prop, and Jensen and some of those other guys. They traded for Isaac Collins, which was an interesting ad. And they bring in Marte and Lane Thomas for the bench. Now the rotation. All the rumors in the world were saying that Bubich was going to be moved. They were shopping him and all that. And I was higher on him than most 2 years ago. I thought very highly of him, and he turned out that year. He's dealt with some injuries. I know all that. The bullpen should still be pretty solid. I don't know. That division is just weird. I stay away from totals with them, but I know you have a prop to get to, and I'll get to after you.
Yeah, look, there's a lean for me. Bobby Witt, MVP. I just like the value here. He's got all the tools in the world. He's a 45, 50-50 type guy. Can the lineup protect him a little bit more? I think pass squatch is legit. If somebody else can emerge, in that 4 or 5 range, then it'll make all the difference in the world. Sal Perez, that thing can't last forever. But I mean, look, elite defensive player. He's a grinder. He's a great situational baseball player. He's a winning baseball player. When there's a time to just get on base, he understands it. When there's a time where he's got to swing for the power alley, he understands it. I don't know. He's, for me, a top 5 baseball player on the planet. Now, if Judge hits 60 home runs, that's going to be your American League MVP. Like, that's just the way it goes. But I do think there'll be a more relevant team this season. I think there'll be a better team this season. And I just think the world of Bobby Witt's skill set. Should have been the first overall pick of the Baltimore Orioles in 2019. I'll tell you this much, Beltway Ben, if he was, they don't want a playoff game, I think. I think we wouldn't be talking in 2026 about, can Mike Elias ever put a roster together that can win a single playoff game? Could you imagine Bobby Witt at short and Gunner at third 145 times a year? Could you imagine that? The hell would that have looked like?
Would be interesting.
We'll talk about aircraft carriers.
Would be
Lift
interesting.
Off. That would be liftoff.
Yeah.
Would
be interesting.
Catcher, not even a top 15 catcher in baseball.
For me, overtime, Caglione. I'm higher on Caglione than most. I think this is going to be a really, really good year from the kid. I'm buying it. I think it's legit. Trusted his bat. I know he was two-way in college, threw like 98 off the mound and was awesome in that way. But this is just a value play. I'll put a unit on it. 90-plus ribbies. We've seen like 30 to 40 guys do it. And if he's going to excel the way they've expected, they sprinted him through the minors, right? He only played like 80 games in the minors. Comes up last year and looked fine at the plate. Everybody is on Kurtz right now. I understand that's the breakout guy this year. He's going to be awesome. I fully understand it. But all that being said, Caglioni, to me, from the left side, gives me just, I'm just as interested in him as I am with Kurtz. He didn't have the explosion that Kurtz did, but he was getting used to it again. He got rushed through the minors the way that he did. I like Caglioni a lot here. I think the lineup is good. Jason talked about it. With Witt, he'll probably be a 4 or 5 hitter in that lineup. He's going to play right field against righties. The DH spot, like Jensen is a young guy as well. If Caglioni is hitting well against righties, the only way to find out how you can do against lefties at the big league level is to face them. And I think they'll try to keep him in the lineup if they can. I know they added Marte and Thomas. Both of those guys will factor in against left-handed pitching when Caglioni isn't out there. But to me, again, still that DH spot is open. And like, do you want, the corpse of Starling Marte facing that later in the year? Or would you rather have your young stud who could hit lefties at college when he was at Florida and drives the ball the way he does? 20-plus home runs was juiced. Like, if he hits 20 to 30 home runs, 90-plus RBI shouldn't be an issue for a lineup that should be able to take a step forward this year. He's going to come up with guys on base. Bobby Witt's getting on base like twice a game. He's a different type of player. As Jason said, might be the second best player in baseball, to be quite honest with you. He's top 5. He could quite honestly be the second best player in baseball. I'm very high on Bobby Witt. Because when you take in fielding and everything. But he gets on base. They have a few other guys who get on base. Michael Garcia, we saw some strides with that. So he's going to come up with guys on. And if he drives the ball the way they do, they help lefties a little bit at that park with how they change things up a little bit. So it'll be interesting to see. But I do like Caglioni for 90-plus RBIs and plus 400.
That's the show. But with Ben, can you put up the Discord real quick and then show everybody how it went last night? Another 3-1 night in college hoops for me with some.
We lost you again, sounds like. He was just saying it was another very good night in the Discord. We had a lot of success. We have a lot of fun in there. If you guys aren't already joined, are you back?
Yeah, preach about way, Ben. Preach.
No, if you guys aren't already joined, I mean, it's a great time. $1 a day. We talk, we communicate a lot. We're using emojis. Shout out to Ryan Mills.
Yes.
I was curious about that, and I meant to look it up and hadn't just because I've been busy.
Tried it. It's not really emoji. It just makes your picture small. I tried to make an emoji of Kylie.
But if there's a play that's like complete ass, like a terrible play that gets like, we never had a shot, we throw that on it. You know what I mean? There. I do like the emoji. It's cool.
It looks like each person can have 50 custom emojis.
Yeah, it's awesome, and you can use other people's.
Yes. So that's that. We are up 90 some units since our first show, May 21st, with our pal Katie Mox. That's all our bets, futures, everything in there. And we will be back tonight for tomorrow's show. Beltway Ben, I got to go to the DMV. The good news is at least I was able to make an appointment, which I didn't know was possible.
That's a new thing, yeah.
Do you have these new licenses apparently? Like, she told me all the things I need to bring. It's crazy. Like, I'm 52 years old. I've been driving. I've had a Maryland license since I was 16. She's telling me I got to bring passport, social security card, 2 proofs of residence, my current license. Have you had to do this? I guess the new license is like on a different material. It's got like a name for it. So this is not just like a normal renewal. And plus, with my eyes, I got to pass the eye. They got to,
Oh, speaking of, real quick, I don't want to take us too long. Last time I went in there, some hack lady at the DMV. I don't try to be disrespectful. I was about to go full on Karen with her.
Yeah.
I went in and they asked about the eyes or whatever. I'm like, I'm fine. No, I don't work. Because this is when I was just wearing goggles for baseball. And then she's like, all right, we're doing the eye test. And I'm like, I was just in here the other day and have to do this. All right. Well, I do have my goggles in my car. And she's like, starts getting attitude with me. You're going to have to go get them. And I'm like, all right, we're going to keep my spot because I just had to wait 45 minutes to an hour. No, we're going to put you back in line. You're going to go there. I'm in there. You know me.
I'm give you like a tab, like a number tab.
That's what I said. So I'm like, all right, well, I got to get my, you need to, and then she's like, BSing me or whatever. So I storm back in, walk right to her thing when she's already working with somebody. So you're going to have to sit down, sir. So you're terrible at your job. I don't respect you. I go into, I'm respectful with how I criticize people when I'm being a Karen. Because no, what do you do? What are we doing right now? Again, people at DMV hate their job, except for the lady I got next. I go over to her.
Imagine if working at the DMV. I mean, that is could you imagine every day you park?
They're rude people every time I'm in there.
And walk in a DMV? Like, people try to avoid it like the plague. Like, I thought I could maybe send this in, but she's like, no, this is the new upgraded thing. And they got to see your birth certificate, actual government issued social security card or passport, plus two proofs of identification of address. And because I'm blind, I gotta, I either had to go to a physician and give them the results or just do it there.
Yeah, no. So then I go over to the other lady. The other lady didn't test my eyes. Super nice, super good person. It just so whatever that first lady was, the DMV, what a real a-hole.
Everybody dreads going to the DMV, and if you had to go there 5 days a week for work, that's
why I would have chose that job or taken the job and got paid.
I'm a PMA person in general, positive mental attitude. Shout out to HR and Bad Brains about pretty much everything. But that would probably break me.
See, I disagree. That's their job. Your job. You can't just start treating people bad because you're. Yeah,
I'm not saying to treat people bad. Like,
no.
It's going to grate on you.
I fully disagree.
Everybody there, every customer is you. You go to the DMV predisposed to be pissed off. That's just the reality of that interaction because it is so inefficient. Like everybody dreads it. So if you're on the other side of that,
we're justifying all of them being.
It's a very broad brush you're painting with all them being.
No, the lady I was with was not. A lot of times when you go in there, those people are like, "What are we doing here?"
It's tough. It's tough.
It's your job.
Everybody's calloused up.
They get paid for it. I think probably the DMV. I would assume pays pretty well.
I don't know. Well, I got to be there in 20 minutes or I will lose my spot. So I am off to Parkville.
Good luck.
Beltway Ben. I'll let you know how this goes. We'll be back tonight. What time you think? I don't know.
Probably 9:30, 10.
There you
go. And there's not going to be a betting slip for our watchers.
There you go. Yeah, there'll be a lot of influx. We'll get back to all that on Sunday. All right, you want to bet? We want to bet. Thank you for betting with us. Wish me luck at the DMV.
Good luck.